So we'll just take a moment. Thank you, guys. All right, so I'm going to introduce our first set of speakers here, proud parents, grandparents, and patriots. They are business owners with caring and helpful reputation in their community. They participated in and led by example in the Q movement by giving away Q t-shirts, bumper stickers, QZs, and more. They organize Q events to wake people up. Their lives have revolved around Q Patriots in the movement since the Tampa rally on 7/31/18 when Q first posted them on the Q board. This is Lisa and John Welch.
Woo, yeah!
Test. There you go. Hello,
Q family!
It's nice to be here today with a group of super elite patriots. And you were all awake, of course. We're dedicated to doing the real work that the media's abandoned years ago. So much love and respect. Yeah.
It's restored our faith in humanity, and I kind of imagine this is what heaven feels like.
Amen.
Yes.
I started following Q on October 28th, 2017.
And I started following Q because you made me.
True.
I was never afraid of anything until I met her.
That's true too.
Yeah, she's a little stick of dynamite. At a restaurant, the two ladies were seeing her Q shirt and said in loud voices, there's some of those Q conspiracy freaks. Well, she couldn't let that go. She walks right up to their table.
And I made them cry. I didn't mean to. I found out they loved Obama, so I showed them the video of Michael dancing on the Ellen show. Boom. They started crying. So I patted them on their backs and I told them I was sorry, and I abandoned the conversation.
Yeah, Trump derangement syndrome is real. She's so in their face all the time, guys. I say, honey, you can't start with that. You got to do baby steps.
Doesn't work. Before the Tampa rally, Q was saying for us to be loud, be heard, and fight for truth. In post 1643, Q said we may have to force the mainstream media to ask the question. It was around that time that people were complaining that nothing was happening. Some were talking about jumping off the Q train. Well, it was breaking my heart, so I told John if we could get the media to report on Q, then we could keep people united. So I knew we'd have to go big or go home, and we bought the 100 Q shirts and made 2,500 We Are Q signs and took them to the rally and handed them out. And the rest is history.
Amen.
You guys, we got to the rally at 7 a.m. that morning, 12 hours before the rally even started. We wanted to meet Trump, you know, so we wanted to be up front. The line was already 30 people deep. We went talking Q right away. We ended up, we met a lot of good people out there, and there's people that offered to help us pass out shirts and hand out Q signs, and so that's what we done for 12 hours before the rally.
And thank God we found them, because at the end of the day we couldn't even talk. We preached all day about Q, about how Q is love for our country and for one another. Q is shifting the narrative in a new age of enlightenment. Everyone was curious and asking the question, who's Q? Joe M's The Plan to Save the World came in real handy that day. We had everyone looking it up on their phones, and they watched it and they wanted the shirt.
A guy tried to stop us from handing out the shirts, but he couldn't stop us. We wasn't selling the shirts, we were giving them away. There was no selling. We've done this since the beginning, guys, and we take donations, and that's how we buy more shirts.
We met Captain Roy Davis that day.
Roy's over here.
Where's he at? There he is. Yeah, he walked up to us and he had these cut-off jeans on that were all tattered and torn. And he had this homemade Q shirt on. The Q was made out of electrical tape. So cute.
He still has it.
Well, we knew he was one of us, so we had to give him a Q shirt for sure. And we became good friends that day. We've stayed in touch, and he's been with us on many of our adventures in the journey.
Yeah, Q honored us that day on the board that night, post 1775. Q said, "Try harder, MSM," and hashtag Ask the Q. Of course, you know, the media wouldn't ask the question, and by the time the rally was over with, they didn't have no choice but to put us on there. We seen it as a big thank you from President Trump and the Q team. Trump's motorcade also honked at the Q Patriots that night coming in. That was another
Honk for Q.
Yeah. So you know how we are, Q people. We love our Q crews. Kind of puts us on tippy top of the world.
Well, I wasn't in the picture in the post because I hated the media for tearing our country apart and wouldn't talk to any of them. When they asked me for an interview, I told them to read the back of my shirt, which says, "Do you care, fake news?" I knew they would lie about us, so I ignored them, and I was right. We got up the next morning, and every MSM outlet was calling Q supporters conspiracy cult members. It didn't matter. Every supporter we gained at the rally was already hooked. Once they figure out what Q is about, there's no deterring them. The MSM loses all credibility. We accomplished our goal because everyone in the movement was re-energized and they were ready to move forward with the movement.